A quick reaction to Real Madrid versus Real Sociedad.
Your thoughts with how it all turned out in the end, Luis?
Yeah, kind of the way that we were expecting the Real Madrid to attack the second half. That early goal right in the first minute in the second half changed the direction of the game straight away. Real Madrid start becoming more dominant, start creating more chances. It's true there during the middle. We've seen Real Sociedad again having the ball, trying to find, to creating chances, but Kubo wasn't as fresh anymore. He looked tired in the second half, so wasn't involved much into the game. But Rene had a couple of opportunities to maybe even put one more for Real Sociedad, but not the Real Sociedad that we saw in the first 45 minutes with that intention, with that knowledge of if we are caught in transition, we are going to be dangerous. And Real Madrid, you know, when they play at the Bernabeu, they start believing more. They never stop running. They never stop pressing. And at the end, the goal started arriving. I think fantastic game for Fran Garcia. He needed something like this to release a little bit of the pressure after being the main man there in the left-hand side.
So lots of points to discuss. First of all, 5 match and 15 points. Also coming to this match, I did not expect an easy game. Real Sociedad is really good team, so any match against them is not easy. Alongside with that, when you concede early goal, it's more difficult. It's more challenging for Real Madrid to win. One thing that I don't understand, I think this season so far, all the goals we have conceded so far before 15 minutes of the match. I don't understand why we are conceding goals so easily. If you look at our first goal, Cruz and Fran Garcia were both marking Kubo at the same time, but none of them was really pressing him so that he could not deliver that ball or make that pass. We had so many players, even before Sociedad player. Somehow the ball reached to him. I don't know how. Again, this goal came out of nowhere, like every goal we consider so far, unpredictable. All just shows that we're not focusing 100% when it comes to defense. Also, another important point that he said about Fran Garcia's performance, that he has fantastic game. Attacking wise, absolutely, he got 2 assists and probably he got man of the match, if I'm not mistaken. However, if you look at his defensive performance, I don't think that was a great performance. In fact, he lost all 1 versus 1 battle with Kubo. Kubo was cooking him every time.
They did it again, Ali. They got another win.
Yeah, and in the pregame we were talking about whether Bellingham can continue to be the guy that's scoring goals for Real Madrid. And we know that eventually that's going to stop. And while he's been hot, it's not a guy whose profile is of a goal scorer. So while he has been great so far, you know that there are going to have to be goals from somewhere else. And
we know that it will stop one day, that Bellingham won't score every game. That's impossible for a midfielder. However, the question is, can other players score the goals? Well, today it shows that they can.
We asked for Joselu, we asked for Valverde, we asked for Rodrigo. Well, 2 of those 3 scored today. And the importance of the goal by Valverde is it changes the feeling for the game for Real Madrid, for Real Sociedad, for the fans, for everybody watching. It just changes the nature of the game. And so while Real Sociedad goes into halftime, very encouraged with how they had played up until that moment and how they had controlled the pace of the game, you give up that early goal, and now it's just a matter of time.
I do agree 100% with Ele about Fede changing the game. I mean, Fede scoring the goal is changing the game. Before Fede scored that goal, something was missing. Like, we were creating chances, but the final ball was missing. Something was missing in our attacking side. In fact, if you look at our first half performance, despite some of the chances we have created, there was some kind of missing chemistry among our forward players. Rodrigo and Joselu both look kind of disconnected with other players. I did not understand what was our game plan, what we were trying to achieve from here. However, once Fede scored that goal, the dynamics is different. Now we know, okay, now we're on the game. We just need 1 more goal. This game is over. That is exactly what happened next.
See, now as a player for Real Sociedad, you're no longer thinking we're in control. Now you can sense that Real Madrid is in control, that Santiago Bernabeu is in control, and that you're at the mercy of Real Madrid pushing the tempo. And when they do so, at the pace that they want to play, they become exponentially more dangerous, floated ball to the back post. The importance of Jude Bellingham in that particular play and the fact that he has been a presence inside the 18-yard box is he takes defenders to the near post. Nobody's paying attention to Joselu, the tall guy, the big guy. guy who's hanging out of the back post, nobody paying attention to him. Ball is floated to that back post, free header, 2-1. And while Real Sociedad may have thought, maybe there's a comeback here, they may have thought it, but they didn't believe it like they did in the first half. This game was over, 2-1, 3 points.
So even though that was an easy header for Joselu, I think that was important goal. That's a winning goal, so that's important, of course. But one thing I would say, despite he scored the goal, I still feel that there's some kind of misconnection between him and other players. There's some lack of chemistry. Also, the goal he missed at first half, I don't understand how that's possible. Empty net, just scored the goal. Simple. Also, Ali's other point about Real Madrid controlling the game. Well, when you have players like Modric coming off from the bench and you already have Cruz, those two players are the best when you need control. When you need to slow down the match, those two are the best. Also, Fede's goal was so brilliant. We need to see Fede, the one we saw last year, especially at first half of the season. That Fede who scores a lot of goals, who scores a lot of long-distance goals. Because every player from the midfield has to score this season, given we don't have good attackers.
Final thoughts then, Luis, because obviously there's a busy run ahead for Real Madrid now, but a few players are starting to come back from injury as well for Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, and very important to keep the consistency. Even though that you don't see the best side of the Real Madrid, they are on the build-up, they are recovering players. We didn't see today Ceballos, and we see again Ibrahim Diaz with a fantastic chip. Union Berlin is going to be in midweek. And
so one thing why we weren't playing as smoothly as you want or as fans we want is because our team is already incomplete given Benzema left. On the other hand, a lot of vital players like Vinicius is still injured. So once those players will come back, we will have better way of playing football so that we can score goals and win.
the derby next week, and again, you're going to face one of the toughest opponents, so you need to bring your best game. But still, I think that Real Madrid, when they are in this moment of confidence, even though not playing well, you know that they are going to be favorites today. They did it again.
I would say that match against Atletico is vital. If we want to discuss about today's performance, as I said, first half was okay performance. Second half was better, especially once we scored the second goal. However, after we scored second goals, we kind of slowed down the tempo as we expected, because that's how Real Madrid plays. Once they're up, they're winning the game, they'll always slow down the tempo and try to control the match. As a result, Sociedad had a lot of possession in second half. One point I would like to discuss from today's performance is Rodrigo's performance. As I said in last match, he wasn't his best. And today again, another match like he was out of his form. I just don't understand. When you have the limelight, you have the chance to make something different. Why don't you perform? Given Vinicius is injured, now he has all the freedom he wants. So you have to take your chances. Second, we might have to change our formation a little bit. We're always kind of playing the same formation. For example, why not play 4-3-3? Why not play Brahim from the start? In fact, the small amount of time we have seen Brahim Diaz, I felt he deserves more time. Today, he played 3 minutes and he created one chance. And in fact, I believe that if we play 4-3-3, say, left in the Rodrigo, right Brahim, and in the middle Joselu, we might play better. We might create more chance because we have more attacking prowess. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about today's performance.